Welcome. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you with some Canton Network news. You've probably already heard about it. Coming to you to update, if you haven't, to those that are subscribed to the channel. Hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, you're stopping by, hit that subscribe button. And let's get into it. We're looking at the price of Canton Network today. Currently, Canton Network is set at 0.1456, just above 14.5 cents. With 13 hours and 22 minutes on this day. The date is the 5th month, the 8th day of 2026. Current time of this recording is 9:23 a.m. So we look here at the price of Canton Network. It's kind of just still in a downward trend, showing bearish momentum, just pushing down further and further. But I wanted to bring you some good news on Canton. We just got an ETF that launched on Canton Network. 21 shares launched the ETF, spot ETF. This is pretty quick for Canton Network being a new crypto that's listed. And that's what I want to bring to your attention. The ticker is TCAN, TCAN. It launched May 7th, yesterday, on the Nasdaq. It's a physical spot ETF. It holds, now this wasn't no, it came out straight with a direct spot ETF. It holds actual Canton Coin CC directly, at least 80% of assets in CC. The expense ratio is at 0.50%, quite competitive. And the objective is tracks the price performance of Canton Network, the CC token. Why this matters: this is the first U.S. regulated ETF given direct exposure to Canton Coin. It makes it much easier for traditional investors, advisors, and institutions to buy Canton through regular brokerage accounts. No need for crypto wallets or exchanges. 21 shares is a major player. They also have big Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. The current performance as of May 8th today is it's trading around $24.66 to $25.05. AUM is assets under management, started small. Less than 250,000 plus on day one. Previous version, 21 shares, already had a European EPT called Canton, CANTN, launched in late 2025 on Amsterdam Exchange. And the bottom line with this 21 ETF, spot ETF launch this is very bullish development for Canton. Spot ETFs usually bring new capital inflows, and many expect this to help drive more demand for Canton CC over time. So I wanted to get on down, and I do believe that BlackRock is going to be the next to launch on ETF on Canton Network, and I wanted to bring you the reason I do feel like that. Right now, there's no official filing yet, but BlackRock becoming the next big issuer of a realistic and widely discussed possibility. Why people think BlackRock could be next, and I do believe that it's going to launch an ETF on Canton Network. And I may be wrong, but I do believe BlackRock's going to launch a ETF on Canton Network before it does XRP. BlackRock already has indirect exposure to Canton Network. They took $100 million stake, 2.2%, in Third Immune. Now it's called Canton Strategic Holdings, a public company building a large Canton Coin treasury. This gives them significant skin in the game. And this is what BlackRock's done. It invested in Third Immune, which is now called the Canton Strategic Holdings. They invested $100 million. This gives BlackRock significant skin in the game. In the strong alignment with tokenization, Larry Fink has repeatedly pushed tokenization of assets. Canton Network is purpose-built for institution tokenization, privacy compliance, RWA's settlements, which fits perfectly with BlackRock's strategy. They use Canton Tech. BlackRock has explored and referenced Canton for tokenizing their own ETFs and products. 21 Shares just opened the door for this. The successful launch of the 21 Shares TCAN ETF yesterday proves that the regulatory appetite and market demand for a Canton Spot ETF. And the bottom line, BlackRock, a BlackRock Canton ETF would be massive for CC pricing, potential bigger than the 21 Shares launch. It's not confirmed yet, but the groundwork, investment, and tokenization focus is already there. So that's what we have to look at, and I wanted to bring this to your attention on Canton Network. No, we don't necessarily see it coming into the price. We didn't see no spike of this, and you don't on these ETFs. This is now if BlackRock would launch one, you would see a lot of investors coming in buying spot ETFs on Canton, and you would see the retail coming in and buying a lot of tokens. And then you'd see open interest go up. But this project is going to do well. It's going to be one of the best performing assets, cryptos on the market, because there's so many behind this token. So many big major banks and institutions, and just like BlackRock, they have invested into this project. Not necessarily direct, but indirect with BlackRock, and invested in Third Immune, which is now called Canton Strategic. So there's the proof that lets you know that major banks and these big institutions is going with Canton Network. I was thinking yesterday, I said, even Ripple using XRP, the ledger in XRP, if you just think about it, Ripple could use even Canton itself for banks and institutions that wanted privacy, because right now, XRPL ain't a privacy ledger, but they could use Canton over the XRPL and move privacy and let XRP be the main liquidity on the bottom, while they move these assets on the top of XRPL with Canton Network, and they'd have their privacy. And that could be coming in the future. I don't know. But there is going to be because just say, for instance, that Ripple decides to use Canton Network for privacy for whatever banks that want to do it. It's not going to knock out XRP. They could just move, they could use Canton on the top of the XRPL. So it still use XRP as liquidity. It's not going to take away from XRP, but they could still use this network to sit on top of the XRPL and move and have a privacy focused, have privacy, liquidity moving on a privacy network and still using XRP. So I just want to bring that to your attention. We do see currently right now the price is trying to push up. Maybe, we got a bearish market right now, neutral to bearish market. We did pull back, Bitcoin did. It did fall down below this trend line, but not necessarily all the time. A lot of times, but not all the time, trend lines, they do work. They do let you know areas that bounce from, and when we see an asset getting weak, we fall below that trend line. And as you can see right here, Bitcoin's dropped down below this trend line, and it's just coming across here, consolidating. And that's what we see here on Canton. We were up at prices of 14.6, 14.7 cents, and we've dropped down in a lower area. Now this right here is an area of support right here. And we could just see consolidation for a little while before we kind of move up or decide to move down. Right now, we're moving on low volume. Let's see if I can get over here. And right now, we did have some negative funding rates. But right now, they're positive. You got longs paying to the shorts. Let's look at the open interest. Open interest did bottom down here, and now it's like in a recovery phase. People coming back in. We did lose a little bit of interest in, but overall, we're still in a downward. We need to get this turned around. But the overall settlement of the market, it's been bullish for the last couple of days, but it's starting to lose a little bit of momentum coming into the weekend. So we could have a neutral to bearish weekend in the crypto market. Let's see if there's anybody buying any spot. It's kind of in the middle of this range where, where we was at on spot. We did rally up and we came back down, and we kind of in the middle of this range right here, previous range where we pumped back down on open interest. Open interest shot up and then it came back down. It didn't come back down to the very bottom of the range, but it's holding about midways. So kind of neutral on that. It just looks like we could just consolidate for a couple hours into a couple of days. I do believe we got some longs coming in, predicting that the price of Canton Network is going to go up, is what it looks like to me. And price is going up a little bit, but it could be pushing up, trapping in some of them long positions, and then it pull back down. Basically, it could do this. It could just rally up somewhere in the middle of this previous range right here, get a rejection, and just come back and just move up in this range right here. But like I say, right here, we're soon going this trend line. We're either going to break above it, and break out, or we going to fall below this trend line. But right now, the way the market looks, it's not a lot of volume. We could just consolidate here we could just consolidate for a couple of days across here, then make our decision. We see some open interest spike up in the price in spot. See some spot buying going on off this news of Canton Network. At least one thing, it wasn't a pump into it and then a dump after the launch. That's good. I like to see that. I don't like to necessarily see a crypto pump into the news of an ETF getting launched and then dumping on you. We can see here, it stayed in its downward trend, but it's in a little consolidation phase right now. But I do see us getting back up between these areas of support right here, between the area of support and resistance, ranging between 14.7 cents and 14.5 cents. And then, I'll come back tomorrow. We'll look at it again, reassess it. But I wanted to come and cover this good news on the Canton Network Spot ETF with 21 shares, and do believe that BlackRock could be, not saying they're going to launch one tomorrow, but in another couple of weeks, we could, to a couple of months by the end of the year. Before the end of the year, we could see a BlackRock Spot ETF on Canton Network. So keep looking, reading the headlines, keep up with Canton Network, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with another great crypto to update you on. Until then, we'll see you later. God bless you.